Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to KHM Today, your weekly resource for industry news and straight up fun. I am your host, Carolyn Orff, and today is May 22nd, 2024. Congratulations to all those graduates and soon to be graduates out there. I'm loving seeing everyone's pictures of their family and their friends. It's really it's just so wonderful to see, and I can't wait to be in your shoes next year. You guys, I missed you. Sometimes I feel like I get out of the swing of things when I'm not here for a week. But we had the most incredible week at boot camp. This was, I think, our largest one ever. We had 57 live agents, like in person. We had about 30 online, and I just have to give a huge shout out to those agents that are online. It's hard to stay engaged online for that many hours. And they were asking great questions. We were going back and forth. They really did a fantastic job. And some of those agents were on the West Coast, so they were starting at as early as 5 a.m. So, well done, everyone. It was really such a fantastic week. We laughed, we had fun, we stressed ourselves out. But if you haven't had a chance to attend a 1.0 and you're at that point, please consider joining us August. And I believe registration opens next week. So please, we'd love to see you. We just have a ton of fun, and you get to meet so many fabulous people. Ashley, so great to see you. I hope you're doing well. What else? So we're heading into the Memorial Day weekend. This is such a special weekend. And we wanted to celebrate and honor those that have served in our military. So with that, we would like to welcome Tresa Reed from Viking Cruises, Director of Business Development, to share a little bit about the wonderful stuff going on at Viking. Hello.
Hi, Carolyn. It's so nice to be here.
You are one busy lady. You're in Chicago right now, right?
Right.
But
I'm in a hotel, so I don't have a pretty background like you.
That's okay. That's okay. We wanted to have you on today because, Viking has really done something special to honor the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And so even though I looked yesterday, there is very, very little availability. It's very much a call to find out situation. Um, we wanted to talk about this really special itinerary because this show isn't just talking about the what's available. It's about what are you doing and what amazing work are you doing, and how are you honoring people within our country. So can we talk a little bit about the itinerary that starts with a little bit of land and then hits cruise?
Well, we are going to commemorate Operation Overload on a 12-day cruise tour itinerary that we had no idea was just going to sell out. Of course, the June 6th departure sold out. So we put more ships on, and those sold out. So we have them up till the end of this year, and we're also going to keep that itinerary even in 25. So
That's
it
awesome.
really is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, June 6th, and it was known for the greatest amphibious landing in history.
Mhm.
So World War II buffs are just gravitating to these itineraries, and it's just you start in London, and you're going to explore the World War II home of the code breakers, which I've never gone to that museum. It's the Imperial Museum. And you'll visit Churchill's war rooms.
War rooms, yeah.
You're getting it already with people like yourself that want to hear about everything. And then you get on the high-speed train and you take it down to Paris. And then you spend one night in a hotel in Paris. And don't forget, look at the shore excursion of Versailles. I mean, if you haven't been to the Palace of Versailles, it is something you should definitely put on your list. So then you're getting ready and you board the ship close to the Eiffel Tower. We have, 4 ships in France, but the one that's going to be going up to the Normandy beaches will start in Paris and cruise through these little tiny, cute towns. And you're going to visit so many the cobblestone streets of Vernon and the timber houses. you're going to see Van Gogh and where he was buried. You'll go through the Gironde Gardens, the Bayou Tapestry, which a lot of people don't even look at that. That is like 1,000 years old, just to see that on this itinerary. And then, the residence where Napoleon spent his final days, and Les Andelys, where the Chateau Guillard, if you haven't seen that, was built by Richard the Lionheart. Just there's so many little things. Monet. And when you get
Right.
to Rouen,
That stood out to me. Two opportunities to see where, inspiration came from. Really amazing.
yeah, Claude Monet. I mean, you're going to see the Gothic Notre Dame Cathedral there, and all the art in the gardens at this time are just going to be beautiful, especially in commemorative of the 80th anniversary.
Mhm.
And you do spend 2 days in Rouen. One is actually, spending it in the art and gardens and in the little town. And then the second day, you're going to go to the beaches. And what Viking does is we go with a group of people and we lay a wreath by in the cemetery, the American
Mm.
Cemetery. And for people who want to go over that are Canadian or British, or they want to see that, they can go to the Omaha beaches. So you can select what you kind of want to do, and then you
Wow.
have some free time to walk around. But you're going to be with like people. It's going to be, it's going to be very moving.
Right.
Emotional experience, but in a good way. You know, um,
I
these
think
people,
it's
these
really
guys were
amazing.
19 years old. 19 years old.
Right. Right.
And you,
I think it's amazing that you're continuing this on to 2025, right? It might be an anniversary, but this is something that continues to live on, and there's this draw towards learning more and seeing, and I'm not going to call it a fascination, but it doesn't really matter what the year. I think this is an itinerary we're going to be hearing about this for years on end, because I just don't think 80 is wonderful, but I think people want to see and feel, and I think that it's going to become part of Viking for many years to come, not just 24 and 25.
it is. And we've always had the Paris to Normandy trip, but
Hmm.
this one is a little bit special. If you see D-Day in the itinerary name, you want to look
Yeah.
at that, because that's going to be a little bit more into the D-Day history.
Yeah. Oh, so fun. All right. So tell me there's a lot going on at Viking. There's a lot new and exciting coming out. So tell me a little bit. One of the things that perked my curiosity was the new Nile ship, which is like, this is a dream of mine, because I think that would just be amazing. So there's a new, very small ship sailing the Nile.
Yes, 80 passengers. It was christened last week. It's our sixth vessel on the Nile. They are the newest and cleanest, and just still the Scandinavian
Yeah.
design, but operated by Viking, and it is cruising. You're going to take a flight from Cairo down to oh gosh, help me, the name, Luxor. And then in
Yeah.
Luxor, you're going to board the ship, and then you're going to cruise around the Nile and see so many different things. People are loving it. The new museum opened up in Giza, which you're able
Hmm.
to go in, and there's so many excursions that everybody wants to see and take part in. And
Hmm.
so it is a great time to go. We have several specials right now, so look at those itineraries, because the Memorial Day special's out till May 31st. And, we're throwing in all kinds of things. So don't forget to look at those and book your 25 and even 26 rates.
Yeah, yes, and we're seeing that. We had a meeting this morning, and we just can't believe how far out people are looking. Okay, so Egypt is amazing. China. China. I mean, this year I feel like has been the year of Japan, and it's going to continue, but now China is on the plate as well for Viking.
Yes, Viking is the first cruise line to actually go back to China. And most guests think, oh, it's the Yangtze, but it's not.
Right?
It's on the ocean ships. So 930 passengers from Hong Kong to Shanghai, or Shanghai to Hong Kong. going along the coastline with a 10-day cruise. And then for those of you who have never been to China, you might want to take a look at the 15-day, which would include the Great Wall and Xi'an with the Terracotta Warriors. So that would be a great itinerary. But if you're going all that way, and I think we're even offering free air right now. And I don't know if
Wow.
you've seen the rates to Asia, but this is such a great deal.
No kidding.
The 20-day one would be the one to take and see all of China, including Tibet with the Potala Palace and the
Wow.
pandas in Chengdu. So if you want to go to China, go with Viking right now. It's going to be less tourist. You're going to be able to see a lot of things, learn a lot about it, and get that off your bucket list.
That's amazing. And I love the fact that it's 10, 15, 20. You've got a lot to work with there. And a lot for a lot of people to kind of figure out how much time they have. But I'm with you. 20 days. 20 days would be perfect.
And we still have space this year. It is the year of the dragon. And if you read about that, it's for the people who are intelligent and noble, confident and naturally lucky and gifted. That is what the dragon stands for this year. So, if you want to go, and I actually have a fortune card for you, and I was gonna scratch it off right here and see what your fortune is, and then I have one for me too. So
wow.
But definitely China. If people haven't been to China, take a look at it. We're always adding more itineraries on our ocean with longer itineraries. We're finding that people, if they want to go somewhere, they don't just want to go for 8 days. They want to add more, and they want to see more. And so you'll see some new itineraries around the world on our ocean, and then our world cruises and the longitudinal cruise on our expedition or our ocean. Those are all brand new right now.
I will say, Tresa, one of the easiest things to sell is Viking Ocean. The repeat client base for that product is amazing. I just have clients that love it, and they just keep going back, but always a different, interesting itinerary. It's really a phenomenal product.
It is. And we are so excited and thank everybody for going again and again. Now, if you want to know what your fortune is, you're going to live a long, happy life.
Wow. I'm glad to hear that.
And mine is you have a great surprise coming ahead. Wonder what that is. Maybe a cruise somewhere?
That's very exciting. Okay, so we've talked about everything that's amazing at Viking and going on at Viking. What are you most excited about coming? I mean, we're halfway through the year-ish, sort of. What are you excited about?
Well, I know this is hard to believe, but people are actually looking forward to 27 rates coming out. I know it's crazy, and Viking is known to get the rates out early, but that is coming out soon. So you'll be able to look forward to that. We continue to have our $25 deposit. And, I'm always looking for somewhere new to go in the world. And the British Isles is looking really nice to go up through the British Isles. Iceland's been very popular right now. So I don't know. I'm always excited to teach everybody about the world. And I have been gifted to be able to travel, and have traveled throughout my career. But it's great to show everybody all the places in the world and talk about little things. I'm all about food and wine. So when I travel, but the history, I really, as I get older, I love the history of all the things that I never thought about. But when you're there, it really is, it hits your heart.
Right. I think what gets me so excited is that despite what's going on in the world, we still can find this joy of traveling around the world. And we've got companies like yours that are constantly finding new ways for us to enjoy and see and experience. And I just, and we've talked about this, right? Our jobs don't suck. I mean, this is one fun industry to be in, and because it's constantly changing, and there's always so much to learn and see and do. And I think that anyone in this industry has that passion for just kind of always being on the lookout for that next great thing. So I'm excited to see what you and Viking have in store for us for, oh, don't say the word 2027. That's so crazy to think about. But I thank you so much for your partnership. We look forward to seeing you, and the rest of the KHM agents look forward to seeing you in July at Destination Success, and safe travels to you.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
All
Happy
right. Take
Memorial
care.
Day weekend.
Same to you. Enjoyed a little bit of a break. I hope you'll get.
Yes. Thank you.
Wonderful. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys. It's so nice to see you. Hi, Jill. Hi, Lori. Trevor, great to see you. Yes, Ashley, I love experience historical places too. Elisa, good to see you. I'm so glad you set your alarm. Sometimes I have to set one too because I get into my mode and then I forget what I'm doing or where I need to be. So you guys, it's kind of that edge of spring and summer, and I'm a big person to kind of reset the clock and get myself organized. And this is kind of that year where that decluttering tends to happen. So we're heading into that busy season of travel. We need to reset. We need to get the brain straight. So VA from our education team is here to help us figure out how to do a little bit of spring cleaning. So hi, VA. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yes, it's been a long time. I
Have you recovered from last week?
mostly. I still haven't made it back on the treadmill, though. I want to say something about those D-Day tours. One of the most emotional experiences I had in Europe was going to some of the D-Day sites. The American cemetery just really gets you. The Canadian cemetery is absolutely beautiful. But the one that really got me was standing on those bluffs and thinking about those 18 and 19-year-old kids climbing that. That just. So if you have anybody who's interested in World War II history, that's some really some great itineraries.
Yeah. And that's why I think that it's timeless, right? It's not just a celebration of 80 years or whatever. There's this constant want to look at that and learn about it and feel that. So I remember when you went and how much you enjoyed it, but at the same time how emotional it was. So
and it's not just older people going. I have a client who her son, that was what he wanted to do for after his graduation. So I mean, it's not just the older generation going to see.
Right. So you're here today to talk a little bit about your tips for kind of our spring cleaning, our business reset. What are your thoughts today?
I really had to chuckle when you said spring cleaning because I don't do it necessarily in spring. It hits me when I can't find something. And I don't know if your desk looks like my desk, but stuff is everywhere. And when I need to find one particular thing and I can't find it, that's when I tend to do my cleaning. It's kind of forced on me.
So what does that look like to you? What is something that you always make sure that you do?
I file things. I do a lot digital, but I also have some paper. And I guess because I learned way, way back about file folders and filing cabinets and alphabetical order, I do that with my digital just like I do with my paper.
Yeah.
I have active client folders on my phone, in my Dropbox, and on my desk. And then as they travel, I move things. Their digital files tend to go in an inactive area, but the paper, I pull out just what is applies to my commissions. and then I file it in a file that's commissions paid. But the one that throws me off all the time are the files on my phone because there are so many of them. Finding things sometimes can be a challenge. I'll just put it that way.
So do you remember last week at boot camp when you would be sitting there and a light bulb went off in someone's head and you were like, oh my gosh, something just clicked for them. Did you just happen to face and the light bulb went off in my head like, oh my gosh, I should be doing just an active folder with just the like I mean I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Where's the S? Where's the S? Like they're all alphabetized. But these are clients for 16 years. Why am I
No.
scrolling through 16 years of clients? You see, you guys, you can learn something new every day. And I have known you for a long time, and you have probably told me this probably 3 or 4 times. And today is the first day that it just clicked. Now that's something I probably want to spend the time and do and just go put those active people where they belong. Oh,
I
see, guys, we can end the show now because that's all I really, that's my one takeaway.
I
Oh,
have
okay, genius. All right,
three areas. I have the ones that I know are never coming back, or the ones I don't want to come back,
yeah.
and then I have inactive, where I can go back and see, oh gosh, from the beginning of me selling travel, which was quite a long time ago,
Mhm.
then to the active. And that's people who are currently set to travel or are traveling.
Right. Right. I know we get a lot of times people saying, how long do I need to keep things? I know I kind of go with the rule of, taxes, 7 years, 7 years for paper. Everything else I keep, digital, sometimes on an external hard drive. Would you agree with that? Is that kind of where you roll too?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm one of these people who wants to keep stuff forever. I have folders right now,
Even paper?
even paper. I have things that my husband will come in and say, "Don't you think we can get rid of this now?" And I say, "Oh, I don't know. What if I need it?" So that I have trouble letting go of paper, which is probably why I do so much digitally. It doesn't take up all that
Yeah.
space.
Right. This surprises me to hear from you. Okay, so your second one is it use a calendar? Is that your second thought?
Previously, I don't know if it was COVID or what, but previously I didn't have to depend on my calendar like I do now. And I don't know if that's age or just having more balls in the air trying to juggle them all or just what. But I just updated. I don't see it. You see there? I need to clean off my desk. Um, printed printed out a calendar and used different color highlighters to show where different people are traveling so that I could just at a glance see, oh yeah, they're coming home. Like I have clients who are traveling tonight, coming home tomorrow. And it just helps me remember, okay, I need to follow their flights. I need to make sure that they have all the last minute things they need. Um, just all those things you want to take care of while you have people traveling.
Mhm. I know I put mine on this bulletin board that I have next to my monitors, and there's just something about that quick boom,
Hmm.
boom that is comforting. And you're not scrolling, you're not clicking on little things. It's just, oh, let me just look to the left real quick and just see the date and see, do I have any final payments coming up? What do I have? That works. And I even have like calendar, a paper one that I use to figure out all of our event dates. And even that, like, it's almost not quick enough. I just
Right,
want to turn my head.
right. I understand what you mean. For the most part, I depend on my digital calendar, but
Mm-hmm.
These past few weeks, I've had more people traveling, and I just needed to be able to see that, and something about that color coding just clicks.
Yeah, helps you. Yeah. So I think the message here is almost figure out a system, but you have to have a system.
Yeah. The one that gets me is email. It's all there. It's in my inbox. All I need to do is drag it over into the proper folders. But for some reason, I'll look, and I mean, there are so many emails in my inbox that it can be really overwhelming. I've started using the search
That
on
is
my
my,
email.
yes. Yep. That is my airplane activity. I will pull up my email when I'm on a plane and sort.
Hmm.
My KHM email I now do in the evenings while I'm watching TV, and I will sort it by the people who it's from, and I will just go through and make sure that I've responded to everything, because it's, especially after a week like last week, it's very easy to lose a communication path, and you've read it, but you knew you needed to act on it, and
Right.
then you forget. So that's been my plane work or my evening TV stuff, where I can just make a list of who I need to respond to. Um, what are some other things that you found super helpful?
Oh, um, I was trying to think today, and I kept coming up with more things that I find are a challenge. I would love to
Ah,
hear from everybody else. How do you stay organized when you're traveling? Because that used to be
yeah.
easy for me. Now it's not so easy. And I'm not sure what, switched off in my brain, but I now
Yeah.
find when I'm traveling that it's harder to keep up with everything and stay organized.
Hmm. Absolutely. I don't have any wise words for you there, but
I'm hoping in our
I
chat
will tell
we get
everyone one of
some.
the things. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. If anyone has figured that one out, let us know. One of the things that I have found helps me personally is when I'm feeling overwhelmed and I need like to a refresh. I will organize. I will take everything off my desk, wipe it all down, dust the shelves, clean the screens, and then organize all that paper. And for some reason, that is a quick reset for me. It could take me an hour, but sometimes if I am that overwhelmed, I can't even start until that clutter and there's like a clean slate. There's something about a Clorox wipe that makes me feel like I have just done something miraculous,
Right.
and I can then move on. The other thing I'm going to show you, which we were talking about the show before the show, is this little baby here. Now, I know all of you, those of you that are on and have been at boot camps or other events with me, know that I struggle with, I love paper. And this is my new little, it's called a Remarkable. Yes, Remarkable. This is free advertising for you. And it's a digital notebook. And I have like all my notebooks in here. I have my to-do list. Um, I've seen 2 agents in the last year have this, and they said it works really well for them. So I've been trying it this week. And I have to say, like, once you get the flow of things, it's really nice. And it comes with this little pen so you can write on it, and then it can change it over to typewritten notes. I just have found that it's very satisfying to be able to write my to-do list or write notes from a meeting, and I'm not going back to these notebooks that I've got stored in my cabinet that need to be cleaned out, because a lot of times I can't find the notes again. And so that's what I'm hoping this solves for me, is the ability to go back and say, hold on a second, I know what we said in that meeting, here are the notes. So I can also make client folders on here, and not for communication
Right.
necessarily, but for my notes
Right. I can't
that I
wait to
take.
hear how you do with this, because I know how much you
Yes,
struggle with going digital.
yes. Just because I like paper so much. And but it's come to the time where, just like you, staying organized while traveling is key, but also not having to carry a full suitcase full of notebooks because, oh my gosh, what if that person reaches out? I won't have the notes I need that I took 2 months ago for their trip. So that's what I'm hoping that this solves a little bit for me. So I'll report back. But for right now, I'm very excited. Now, if I can just make sure that I don't write on it with real pen, that will be the real clincher there, because I've
My
already done it once.
my
And I've had it 3 days.
my handwriting has gotten so bad that I use my Apple Pen with my iPad. Half the time, it can't even recognize what I'm writing. So I'm glad that you have a neat handwriting and that the remarkable can actually recognize what you're writing.
Yeah, I can't say there's neat handwriting, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, you guys, we would love to hear your tips as well. Be sure to write
Yes.
it in the comments on our YouTube channel. Be sure to email us these comments because we want to know. We want to know how you stay organized and what things you do to declutter your life. When it comes to your business. We've got lots of tips for staying organized with your taxes and things like that. So check out the agent portal as well. Yay! It's like Christmas, and I get to see you next week too. It's like
Yes.
3 weeks in a row.
I have one more question for the audience. Does everybody just have this one stack of little papers that you don't know what to do with, and you can't throw them away because they might be important? I just want to know, am I the only one, or are there other people?
No, you are not the only one. I've got a mound of Post-it notes. I'm happy to say none of them have credit card information on them,
No.
but they do have like like they have emails, they have passwords, like my own personal stuff that I'm like, oh, I've got this information somewhere else, but I'm like so afraid that I'll never remember where that information is somewhere else. So yes, I've got a little stack on every desk in the office.
Uh, yeah, some of mine are just random thoughts that, oh yeah, I'm going to need this at
Yes.
some point.
At some point. Yeah. And then there is that day that you decide to finally clean out and you're like, what have I been saving this for?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I will say when it comes to, organizing the stuff that comes in from suppliers and things like that, digital folders are great, but also like I'm a big person, like I tear things out of magazines,
Mhm.
just have a system, but clean it out every 6, 8, 12 months. If you haven't done anything with the article, chances are you're not going to do anything with it. And then, throw it out.
Yeah.
So, Elisa, I love the fact that you say I must watch some serious podcasts because all I listen to are silly ones. So there's no note taking needed. So you must be really trying to learn something. So, all right. Well, VA, I can't wait to see you next week at Asta Global. It's going to be a great
It's going to be
time.
fun.
And before I let you go, what did you think of boot camp last week?
I thought it was fantastic. I love how engaged the agents were in the room. I love how much the ones online were. It just amazed me
Yeah.
that they were taking part and commenting just like the agents in the classroom were doing. I thought it was a pretty amazing event. And Sarah did a great job of keeping up with all those people online too.
She sure did. They were coming in, and you stepped away for 2 minutes, and it was like, everyone was there asking their questions. So it was fantastic. Oh, Ashley, see you there next week. It's going to be so fun. Everyone's going to be spending all weekend figuring out what boots, what hat, what jeans to bring for the event in Dallas. So I'm very excited. I'm excited to see all of you. VA, I'll see you next week. And thanks for being here. We're going to close out the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys, thank you all for joining us today. We're excited to be back. We're going to do the show from Dallas next week, and it is World Reef Awareness Day. So the Cayman Visitor Bureau is going to be with us. And oh my goodness, how am I going to whip up some ocean-inspired cocktails in Dallas? We're going to have to think about this one. I might have to hit the Dallas grocery store. All right, you guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us today.